Hey, if you enjoy this show and you want more, maybe you want bonus content, maybe you want early episodes, maybe you want little things that nobody else can have because you're like that. Go to patreon.com/wehaveconcerns. Lord your superiority over everyone. So, like, somebody's texting me, and my phone's in airplane mode because we're recording, but there's a pop-up on my computer, and there's a pop-up on my iPad, and there's a pop-up on every single thing in the world.
Just wait till you're wearing a watch that will literally tap your wrist.
Oh, good. We all want watches that do this shit now, too.
Yeah.
Great.
It's going to physically tap you now.
I'm not, like, normally the Luddite guy.
Yes.
But holy shit.
Yeah.
There's got to be a way to turn it off.
No, there's just more things that will alert you.
Great.
Yeah, that's
Can't
what we
wait.
need.
This is We Have Concerns. Hi, Jeff Cannata.
Hi, Anthony Carboni.
Hello, concerned citizens. Oh, the perfect gleaming city of the future. How we all want it.
I want it.
Right?
Show me the way. Tell me where it is.
Okay, well, I'll tell you this. There was a story on IO9 this week that was about a man named John Calhoun, who is an animal behaviorist. And in 1972, he did a bunch of experiments that basically show that we just can't create a perfect city.
There's no perfect city?
There's no way to do it.
What did
you know
he do?
why?
Because we ruin everything?
Yeah, we're ruiners, basically. Spoiler alert, long story short, we're ruiners. Good night.
Wait, what do you mean by we? You mean like...
Well, so here's what he did, is he created a mouse city.
Oh.
Which is adorable if you think about it.
Disneyland?
Yeah. It's like a little tiny mouse Disneyland, and he called it Universe 25.
He did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know why he called it Universe 25, Jeff?
Because he's really into sci-fi?
Sure. Do you know why else?
Why?
Because the other 24 destroyed themselves.
God.
And he knew that this one would too.
This guy is really dark, isn't
No, he's creating a perfect city for mice.
But it took him 24 tries.
Well, it took him 25, and even then it didn't happen.
He was like, should I give them
He
little
kept trying
weapons?
in the face.
No,
do not give them little weapons.
Iterate again.
So Universe 25 is basically this giant city. It was divided into main squares. Those squares were divided into levels. Those levels had ramps that went up into tiny mouse apartments, and they could just have as much space as they wanted. They could have privacy. They could be together. They could do whatever they wanted, and he put 8 mice into this thing and said, hey, I'm going to give them unlimited food every day.
So he built a tiny little awesome town.
Yeah.
For mice. I bet this guy's train set when he was a kid was killer.
Dude, this is a dream that I had when I was 8. You remember the first time you discovered that you could buy hamster tubing?
Yes.
Remember the first time you saw hamster tubing in a store and you were like, I could have an unlimited amount of hamster tubing. And then I could just have a colony of hamsters all around the house.
That's right. You could just weave that tubing through every space in your home.
Every space. And I drew out little maps. And I was like, and there will be a food pod, like every certain number of feet, and then like a sleep pod, and then like a little recreation pod, and I will just be a god unto these hamsters.
So this is what this guy did.
For a living.
He figured out a way to monetize hamster tubing.
You got to monetize that hamster tubing.
He put 8 mice in there.
Yeah, with unlimited food. He said all of your needs are taken care of.
And they lived happily ever after.
No, by day 560.
By day 560?
The mouse population had reached 2,200.
No.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
2,200. And then, shortly thereafter, they were all dead.
8 mice in 500 days went to 2,000 mice?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a lot of mouse fucking.
It's a lot of mouse fucking, dude.
And then what happened? They turned on one another?
Yeah, well,
even though they were literally brothers and sisters, they turned on one another?
Well, so here's the thing. This experiment has come to be known as the behavioral sink.
Okay.
And it is now a very influential experiment.
Don't put rats in a thing.
When running models of population, city building, societies in general. What are we going to do to ourselves? How will we eventually be our own end? Here's what happens if you take care of everyone's needs. They fuck.
Yeah.
They got nothing else to do.
That's true.
They hang out and party all the time.
Right.
They have nothing else.
Mad mouse parties up in this utopia.
So by day 2002, not only that, but they begin to take for granted that everything is going to be provided for them.
Right.
So here you had all these mice that would sit and wait all day by food distribution centers in giant crowds.
Fucking, just waiting and
Just
fucking.
waiting and fucking,
and fucking and
waiting forever and ever. Amen. Just like, hey man, what are you doing today?
Oh man, busy day. I figure I'm gonna eat,
Yeah.
and then Joanne's gonna come over later,
Uh-huh.
and we'll probably try out, some positions. Maybe
Mhm.
I don't know. I was thinking, getting a little tired of everything.
Yeah.
Everything. So I'm thinking we're gonna try to invent a new position.
That's cool.
And then I thought I'd eat. There's like a post-coital mealing time.
Yeah.
And then I thought I'd take a nap.
Sounds great.
And then maybe I'd fuck somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you doing?
Oh, same. Eat and fuck, fucking eat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate life.
Dude, don't look at me like that. I hate that smug look on your face.
What are you talking about?
Ugh,
man?
that's just that smug look that you give me.
What smug look? What are you talking about, dude?
Your little
Why are you staring me down?
Beady little eyes.
We all have beady eyes. We're all mice. We have
Well,
beady eyes.
I'm just saying, you're twitching your nose at me in a weird way, and your whiskers are kind of askance.
Buddy, you got to take it down a notch.
Oh,
I think
I gotta
you're a
take
little
it
in
down
your
a
head.
notch?
I think you're getting a little in your head.
If I wasn't so morbidly obese,
Yeah.
I
You'd
would-
what?
I-
You'd what? Oh wait, hold on. Food rain.
At least there aren't any parallels
that's
to our
basically-
world.
yeah.
in this.
I can't see any humanity in that. No, but this is basically what happened is they would all crowd around. They would wait for food. And they would fight each other and eat and go off to like carry the food off and eat and fuck and come back. And like it got so overpopulated that like sometimes these female mice would have whole litters and they were always surrounded by hundreds and hundreds of each other, right? So there was no privacy, and these female mice would try to carry their litters away and they would just get bored of it, and they would only carry like
God.
half their litter away, and then they'd forget it, or sometimes they'd drop one and they'd be like, fuck it, I got more. And then off in these apartments,
God.
because you remember there were apartments,
Oh, right.
were these weird little colonies that were called the beautiful ones.
By who? The one guy who created
By
it?
the guy who created it, and he watched them and he said, you are the beautiful ones. And what basically happened is it was these mice that just
They created
sat-
a caste system?
Yeah, they would just sit in these tiny little apartments, never leave, never do anything. And there was like one male mouse who would guard the doors because there was only a forward door and an in and an out, right?
Uh-huh.
A front door, a back door. And they would just sit there, right? They would sit there while the entire rest of the mouse population was fucking and fighting and destroying. And they wouldn't do anything. They just lounge around. And here's what happened. When all these other mice were just fucking and fighting and killing each other,
Yeah.
after they all died off, the beautiful ones had no regular social mouse instincts. And so they died. They laid around until they died.
They just
They
didn't know what to do with
It was
themselves?
a ghost town, and they could have just went out to the food centers and gotten some food. It was all laying around. It was piling up at that point. And they just didn't get how to do it. Why is this story relevant, do you ask?
Yeah. It doesn't sound relevant
What
to
do you
us.
see happening in the future?
Here's my worry about this story. I think John Calhoun, he wrote some stories in his head. He really added a narrative layer to everything that was going on.
Well,
Didn't he?
in the 70s, and here's what happens is we are all adding a narrative layer to this too. In the 70s, what that basically looked like was, hey, cities are the devil.
Yeah.
We got to get out of cities. We got to run to the suburbs because they're tearing our humanity away.
Right.
But what's happening now is people are looking at this and they're going, well, there were tons and tons of little apartments and areas, and why didn't they just go into those? And the problem wasn't that it was overcrowded. It was that there wasn't enough even distribution of space and wealth. Only the beautiful ones got to live in apartments.
Beautiful ones. Calhoun, man, he put an artistic flourish on his findings, didn't he?
Yeah.
When I sat and watched them for hours and hours, I just stared at the beautiful ones who stayed in their apartments and never ventured forth and got any of the food that was just piling up and waiting for them. Oh, they were so beautiful, their sheen and their brightness.
Dr. Calhoun,
Yes.
what made you decide on the nickname The Beautiful Ones as opposed to something like a ruling class or a leisure class?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, Clyde. These rats knew that they were beautiful. They knew, they taunted me, and they looked at me, and they knew that they were so much better than the other rats and the other mice that flooded around them.
How did they taunt You specifically.
with their little tails a-wagging and their hindquarters a-moving upwards and downwards. They knew that I was watching them, and they liked it. They liked being watched. They knew they were beautiful. After I installed those little mouse mirrors in all of their chambers, they would spend hours just watching themselves and preening and preening.
Zooms out to show that he is actually just one scientist with a mouse city in a colony of a bunch of scientists with mouse cities that have all been given government grants to build mouse cities and left alone with mouse cities for 2 years. Just like, number 871 Calhoun. I thought he was going to be okay, but he seemed to get a little weird after a while, too. Can we give no one infinite money
to do infinite experimentation?
All scientists want is enough money to do their experiments, but when you give it to them, they get real weird. Why is that?
Meta City 25 is really turning out to be a bummer.
Yeah. Meta City 13, I thought, had a good chance.
Those were the good old days.
Those were the good old days.
Those were the good old days.
We thought we could do it. Zoom out and it's just a kid playing Fallout.
This is worrisome.
Sure.
Is there something fundamentally necessary about life that it has to struggle or yearn or strive? Is that something that's built into life itself, that it needs to have to work for something?
I think so. And this is anecdotal. This is my own experience, but I watch older people retire and their mind starts to go kind of after they retire.
That's true. The people that are vibrant into old age are people that have purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think even you look at school age kids and they're always like, what are you going to do over the summer? Oh man, I'm going to do this and this and this and this. And then they have like nothing to do and they mostly just hang out and sit around.
Yeah.
Even I'm the same way where it's like, man, I can't wait to have this time off because I'm going to do X personal Y personal. But you remove the heaviness of stress and the heaviness of need from us.
Yeah.
And it gets kind of boring. We need a little conflict.
Isn't that just a giant cosmic joke that all we strive for is to get our needs met, but once our needs are met, we're fucked?
Yes.
That's messed up.
It's super messed up, and it's the way things are.
It's why all empires fall, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, and this is the other thing. It's like, we can look at this experiment as a terrible, oh God, if we give ourselves too much, we just destroy ourselves. Or, oh God, if we don't give ourselves enough, we just destroy ourselves. Spoiler alert, this ends without us.
Yeah.
No matter what, whether we do it to ourselves or an asteroid does it or the sun expands or the atmosphere gives, like, no matter what happens, it ends. You can run any experiment, and guess what? It ends.
Well, that's not a comfort. Like I know that there's no such thing as happily ever after, right? Because ever after has a end date, has a use by date, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that there has to be all civilizations have to implode, right? There could have been a situation where after 500 days, this dude's rat colony they were all giving each other high fives and being happy and joyous, right? It could have been everything is awesome all the time in Legoland, right? Instead of what happened. Because I feel like what happens is if there's no external conflict is manufactured.
Yeah.
Right? I think that's the lesson, is that these rats, these mice, in the absence of any kind of need to strive for feeding themselves or doing anything, they just turned on one another and decimated their population.
It's Night of the Living Dead, dude.
Yeah.
It's Night of the Living Dead. It's every horror movie like that where it's just like, hey, if you guys would just like sit in that room and shut up and be quiet and get along.
Yeah.
It's no exit, right? Like it's all of that shit.
Just be cool.
Hell is other people. But I have to wonder though, would it happen to us? If
you mean you and me if they closed the door and kept us here for 500 days?
Yes.
First of all, we'd have lots of sex.
Sure. Number one.
Yeah.
Number two, once we get tired of that.
Right. Then what?
Then what?
Yeah.
Probably we kill each other.
Probably.
But I just mean human beings. If we found some way where it's like, well, now everybody has everything they need forever.
But
what would happen? What would happen to us? Don't we already have it?
That's kind of America. Isn't that America? Land of plenty?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously everybody doesn't have everything they want.
We certainly have the beautiful ones going on right now.
We have the beautiful ones.
Wealth disparity and all that stuff is happening.
What we figured out, ironically, it occurs to me, what we figured out is to keep inventing new things we want. Right? Mm-hmm. Just come up with new wants instead of, because we have everything we need. I mean, we are a land of plenty. We don't have to worry about, we sit around all day and go, what do you want to eat for dinner? I don't know. What do you want to eat for dinner? Not, are we going to eat dinner?
Right.
Can't we survive through dinner?
Well, and that's the thing, is we turn that into a conflict. What are we going to eat for dinner is like one of the biggest conflicts of my fucking day every day.
Right? I mean, it's the definition of first world problems.
It's the easiest thing in the world to solve. What are we going to have for dinner? It doesn't fucking matter. Just stop.
Because we can have anything we want.
You're not going to go out and get anything.
It's all within 5 minutes of here.
Oh, 5 minutes is so far.
Oh, you're right.
That's such a long time.
Let's just fuck again.
Why can't we just order something and wait 45 minutes? Okay, well, what are we going to order?
Exactly.
Like,
that's what that is. I don't want to leave. I don't want to do anything. That's so depressing.
Ones.
We're the beautiful ones.
We're all the beautiful ones.
Just waiting and just living inside our little houses.
I can't figure out whether he's supposed to be Irish or not.
Not really. It was more of a. It's more of a. Creepy,
it's more of a Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah. More of a sort of pan-European creepazoid.
Gotcha.
Yeah. By the way,
it's leaning a little Irish.
If you've ever seen the pan-European creepazoids, they rock.
Yeah. That's awful. That's awful. I think it's a dad joke.
No, I don't know. I mean, it's not using up my one, right? That's all I care about, really.
I mean, I think it's going to be your one. It's late into the episode anyway. You don't care.
The episode.
You don't care. That might as well be your one. There's probably not another one coming. You see that? You see how lazy we are? You see, it's all true.
Yeah. Is there any hope?
God, no. I've been trying to tell you that. It's been almost 100 episodes of me trying to tell you there's no hope.
There's no hope, eh? That's a bummer.
Now, here's the trick.
Yeah.
Here's where you got to go next. Once you accept there's no hope. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
You got to do your best anyway.
Well, shit.
That's the rough part, right?
That's remarkably optimistic of you to say.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
You got to do your best anyway. It all ends with us dead.
And yet you got to just sort of turn and march headlong into the abyss,
but
right?
do your best, because it's like, what else are you going to do? You're going to hang out and do your worst? That's stupid.
Yeah. I
mean,
what a
waste.
Look at the mice. Don't be one of the lame guard mice that just hangs out and then
don't
atrophies.
Be any of those mice. I don't think you got what you were supposed to get out of that parable.
No, you're supposed to select which of those mice you want to be.
like a BuzzFeed quiz.
Which mouse
Listen, it's really hard to figure out who I'm supposed to be.
I think I'm...
Can I please just take some sort of internet quiz or personality quiz that will tell me whether I'm supposed to fight in the pits, sit around all day until I kill myself through laziness?
I think I'm fuck mouse. That's what I think I am.
You think you're a fuck mouse?
I think I'm a fuck mouse.
Okay.
I think I am a...
You got 66% fuck mouse. Want to compare to how your friends did?
Click here.
Share it on Facebook. Oh, turns out most of your friends are guard mice.
Oh, shit. I knew I was hanging out with a bunch of guard mice.
A bunch of douches.
Fucking dumbass guard mice. At least I don't have any beautiful ones,
Guard
friends.
mice are the worst.
I just like the idea of a guy whose whole idea was to create the perfect mouse city.
But his subtext was, I'm going to try, and it's not going to work every time.
25 times.
He knew it was going to fail every time.
Why was there no 26th time? Maybe he just didn't get it right again.
Well, maybe 25 was like,
I'm out. Fuck this.
It's like, how many do I have to do before I can prove to you guys that this is just not going to work?
Well, how about 25?
25 sounds good. Just like it was all funded by the Optimist Society.
We'll give you a good 25 chances.
It's just
not a chance more.
Hey guys, I have the results from number 25.
Oh, wow. Oh, great. I bet it worked this time.
Yeah. First of all, I want to say I really appreciate you and your society just keeping funding my experiments.
We appreciate you. You know what? It's going to work one of these days.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate you supporting me through that weird phase I had where I was doing a semi-Irish accent.
You know what?
That was
cool
of you.
We always knew you would figure out who you were.
Thank you. And that's what I love about you guys. Here's the thing. You guys have been doing so good by me, and I appreciate all the resources and the funding and the pats on the back. Can I stop?
Well,
Can we just give up?
That's not usually that's not in our organization's creed.
Look,
we're not really much of giver-uppers.
No, I get it, but listen, man, I keep telling you guys, it's not going to work.
You don't think like number 26 could really turn it around?
We've done 25. Do you really think 26 is the one?
How many total rats have we been the reason of their death?
Well, this one was over 2,000, just in Universe 25.
You don't think the 26 might crack it this time? You don't think so? I mean, all of us, we took a poll, unanimous. We all are hopeful in the Optimism Society. We're all pulling for you.
And there's no way out of the building.
Oh God, no. No, there's no way out of the building. We're gonna make this work. We're gonna make it work. We're gonna make it work.
All right. I guess Universe 26. I'm gonna need a knife or a rope to make Universe 26.
Oh,
and a little time alone in my room.
Sure, if you think that'll help, we're all pulling for you.
Rip, John Calhoun. 1909 to 1972. I told you it wasn't gonna work. I don't know.
Which mouse are you guys?
Yeah, well, that's not what it's about.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was what we were trying to figure out.
About.
Which mouse are you?
Do you necessarily think that, will we be the end of ourselves, or will there be an external end? What do you personally think, Jeff?
I think we are already proving that we're the end of ourselves. I think we're literally shitting where we eat. Not literally. We're figuratively shitting where we eat.
You don't think we're going to turn it around?
I think this planet we're just wiping our asses with it.
Okay.
See also episode entitled We're Doomed.
Yep, that's a good one. So I kind of feel the same way, but I think it will be more than our horrible behavior towards ourselves. I think it will be our hubris that will be our downfall. I think it will be our expanding outward that will eventually.
Oh, really?
I think we're going to get spread too thin eventually and destroy ourselves.
But we're good at being thick. We don't need to be. Spreading thin is not a worry. We overpopulate like motherfuckers.
That's true. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let us know. We're on Twitter. I'm at @Carboni.
I'm at Jeff Canada.
And if you've seen a story like this that you'd like to suggest to us to cover on the show, hey, there are a couple places to do that. You could do that at wehaveconcerns.reddit.com or wehaveconcernshow@gmail.com.
And if you want to fill out our little survey as to find out which mouse you are, head over to...
No, that's not what it is!
Oh, we don't have one of those?
That's not what it's about.
My bad.